So I want to thank everybody for coming. Great turnout. Thank all our reviewers and all the people who submitted articles. Without you, the journal wouldn't exist. And really, this is honor of both people who submit and our reviewers. Having reviewed articles, submitted articles, it is a thankless task reviewing, and we really do appreciate it. It's sort of the dues you pay in academia for other people doing it for you. So to everybody out there, cheers and thank you. Cheers. So, thank you. I pay her a lot for that, I'm telling you. Exactly. So I do want to say, though, tonight there's a special honor. I'll call up Carter Thorne to announce the special honor tonight.
Thank you, Earl.
An introduction, just so you know. Carter Thorne, the Canadian Rheumatology Association officially is the sole owner of the Journal of Rheumatology, and Carter is on the board of the journal.
Yep. So it was 74 or 5 that I went up the escalator stairs at the Sheraton Centre in Toronto at the Panlar meeting where Metro announced the formation of the journal. And I believe it was about 35 years ago that the board of the journal was established, and Dafna was one of the original directors. And it's 10 years since the CRA made a decision to purchase the journal from the original owners. And over that period of time, the legacy directors have left, and Dafna is the last. And so this is a memento of her participation in the success of this journal. And we'd like to call Dafna to the podium because we'd like to make 2 presentations to her. And here she comes. I know, but the microphone doesn't work. We're working on that. It'll be ready to work once we finish.
Yeah, and Carter didn't say it. Part of the reason for the honor is as of December, the end of the year, Dafna will officially said, "I've had enough," and she will no longer. She'll continue to review, I'm sure, continue to be an integral part of the journal's family, but no longer be on the editorial committee.
So Earl, you want to describe this?
Yeah, we'll give this first, then we'll do this. So you can give that one.
So the memento, reflecting her years of contribution to the journal, not only as a submitter and a reviewer, but at the administrative level, is this plaque.
Thank you.
Psoriatic plaque.
Very good.
So hold this up. Hold this.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
And Earl?
And so just want to honor Dafna with again, keeping what Cheryl said, in the old days when we used to use gold, we still kept the honor of having a gold Journal of Rheumatology for Dafna. It highlights a trivial amount of her articles from 1970 to 2010. If we did all of them, my back would go out. So we decided to do it, which was reasonable.
Thank you.
Speak loudly to say anything. Good.
We'll see something.
Well,
Doesn't work.
Wait, that doesn't work either.
Nothing,
Nothing
works.
It's an idiot button there.
Well, I don't think they're going to be able to hear me.
Go ahead.
So it's really been an amazing journey at the Journal of Rheumatology. I remember when Meto Grislow announced the formation of the journal, I was still a fellow, and I couldn't join the board, not the board, but I couldn't even join the donors to establish the journal because I was still in training and they needed to have staff people only. And it was only later on that I was allowed to buy shares in the journal and be a member of the owners of the journal before it was transferred to, or it was bought by the Canadian Rheumatology Association. And by the way, the reason that decision was made was because it was felt that the owners were kind of dying off, and their children, who were their inheritors, were not really interested in a journal of rheumatology. And so rather than have it be transferred to some publishing house, the decision was to have the Canadian Rheumatology Association have a crack at buying it, but first drop on the journal. And so that was something that happened 10 years ago, and we're very happy about that. And as far as being on the editorial board, it's really been a pleasure, but it's a very hard job. It's very time consuming. You don't get paid very well. And I want to thank people that are here who have been very responsive when we've asked them to review papers, particularly referable to psoriatic arthritis and ankylosing spondylitis, which is what I was responsible for. So I want to thank Earl for his leadership of the journal. He's been a wonderful editor, and it's really been a privilege and a pleasure to work with him. That was for Earl.
You see, when my name comes, everything goes up.
And I also want to recognize Yvonne, who was the managing editor for as long as I can remember, although I still remember Sonia. And I certainly would like to thank Carlisle for being such a wonderful, initially being just a helpful editor, and more recently being a managing editor of the journal. And Carlisle, again, you've done a wonderful job. So I want to thank Carter and Earl for recognizing my contribution, and this is really something. And hopefully the new person that takes over will not be asking me to review too many articles.
Eric, where are you?
Who's